Evening, everyone. Welcome to today's virtual meeting. As you may have seen in your various emails that I sent, today we are looking at topic 4. That is the documentary film production proper. Hello? Hello, is anyone there? Hello? Hello? Okay. Still have about 2 minutes to 5. Yes, I can see Lumide Stephen. Welcome. Lumide Stephen, how has been your weekend? Hello. Hello, Lumide, how has been your weekend? Hello, Lumide. Hello. Hello, Lumide.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Hello, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you, sir.
How has been your weekend?
So it's fine, sir. What about you, sir? An happy
How
new
has
month.
been your day?
Going well, sir.
Hello.
Hello, I'm hearing you, sir. Hello?
Hello. So it's about 1 minute to 5.
Yes, yes.
Your classmates will join in. So the assignment you did. We have time today. We want to look at the way you do that assignment. But
okay.
While I was trying to test the system, I made mention of the fact that it's 5. That today we're looking at the documentary film production proper.
Yes.
Well, I just uploaded it in the Noun platform. Maybe you've seen it. Yeah, I can see Ukole Eunice. You're welcome. You're welcome. And yes, as I was saying, we're looking at documentary film production proper today.
Okay, sir.
That is under our topic 4. Under this documentary film production, we shall look at the documentary film production methods. Then we'll go on to look at documentary film production requirements.
Okay,
then
sir.
The third item will be writing the documentary film. Yes. Then we'll go on to look at production personnel for the documentary film. I will wrap up the day with getting set for a documentary film production.
Okay.
Let's look at the first one, which is the
documentary film production method.
The documentary film production method. Now, we all know that documentary film is the creative presentation of actuality, real life situations that are creatively presented. So in producing this kind of film, 4 methods can be adopted. One is what is called the studio-produced programs. Documentaries can be produced in television or film studios from completely a written script. If you check some of these documentaries before the First World War, you discover that they were completely written, and produced in the studios. The second one is existing film tape. This one talks about documentaries that are made up in whole or part from film obtained from newsreels, cuttings, government archives, and so on and so forth. For example, you take you visit the government archive to take existing tape to be part of your work. That type of method is called the existing film tape. Let's welcome Grace Potter. Welcome. Now, the third one is specially produced film. The documentary method of when we talk about the specially produced film, we're talking about situations whereby programs are deliberately made to satisfy certain purposes. For example, the National Assembly in Nigeria is covered by the NTA. That kind of documentary could be a specially produced film documentary. Then, of course, the last but not the least is the still pictures. This is very common with the millennials, young people like you, whereby you take your existing photos and you put them in a ordered succession to present a particular story. For example, if one decides to take the pictures of our dear President Muhammadu Buhari from his youth through the military and then through the military government he headed and then the civilian government he headed, you may as well present a visual story using his pictures, and that is what we call still pictures. So those are the 4 documentary film production methods. We talked about the studio produced programs, the existing film tape, specially produced film, and of course, still pictures. Quickly, I want us to look at the place of story and treatment in documentary film production process. As you may have known by studying your course manual, the story is the basis of all films, basically, because every film starts from a story. It is the message of the film. The storyline is the representation of a plot in a cohesive and progressive manner. It is the plan through which actions and activities are executed and appreciated. But this is different from treatment, whether it's in documentary, whether it's in feature film or animation, whatever it is. Treatment describes the characters, the settings, the action, is giving flesh to that story. So there is a critical difference between the story and the treatment. Whereas the story is just that narrative, the treatment is giving flesh to that narrative with characters, with the setting, with the dialogue, and so on and so forth. I hope you are following me, please. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are following.
So let's move to the next subtopic, which is documentary film production requirements. Documentary film production requirements could be divided into 6, as I have outlined. You can see it in the visual there. We have the first requirement is thorough research into whatever you're doing. You must research your subject matter. You must research your audience to know their likes and dislikes. That will inform the way you are going to present your material. So the very first fundamental requirement in documentary film production is research. The second is scripting. You must script your documentary in such a way that it could have a catchy title, it could be captivating, so that you'll be able to retain the interest of your would-be audience. And of course, another requirement is you may wish to conduct interviews. You may wish to select specific interviewees, and schedule for meetings should be identified and booked promptly for recording. Because if you do not do this, you're likely to face problems in your production. The fourth requirement is that you must essentially secure a narrator. The narrator will give life to whatever script you may have produced. And you select a good theme, and of course, find a way to bridge music as well as visual input. That becomes essentially editorial work that you will do. Then, of course, the 5th requirement is, sorry, after 20 minutes, I will not allow any other person into the class, so I will not be distracted. I hope you understand. 5, a virgin tape of excellent quality should be obtained for actual production in the studio. There are no rooms for chance. There's no room for not planning well. You must get everything required for your production and make it handy. For example, a tape, the ready one that you want to use for your recording, in the studio. Then, of course, the 6th requirement we identified is the unedited documents which have been recorded that you may wish to, okay, let's just welcome Taiwo, please. That you may wish to edit, caption, and made ready for airing, depending on the type of documentary you are making. I haven't tried to establish some of the requirements for documentary film production. I want us to look at the features to be included in the documentary. What are the features? What are the attributes? Some of the features identified here are narration. Sorry, John, okay. It's 20 minutes, not allow people in again. Narration, it is a feature of the documentary. Without the narration, it is likely going to be drab, uninteresting. The second one is entertainment. It is a critical feature of a documentary. There should be something to take away. It should be entertaining. And of course, sound effects has a great role to play, as you may have known. And of course, the actors and actress dialogues where they are necessary. Where they are what? Necessary. Sometimes you could have a silent film. It might not be necessary to talk about the actors and the actresses. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I understood.
Can hear you, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's go to a subtopic here, which is production personnel for the documentary film. Now, this is a very technical area, but I'm sure with your reading and with our interaction through this Zoom video, we'll be able to get something to take home. Production personnel in documentary film production refers to the people who are responsible for producing the documentary. That's the way we talk about people that produce feature film in your Nollywood, animation, and so on and so forth. There are two categories. You have the non-technical personnel, which is also called the above the line personnel artist, and the technical or below the line personnel. Now, what do we mean by this? The non-technical or above the line personnel consists of those artists who create or enable the development of the plot as the basis the documentary film what production. Can you hear me, please? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay. So
yes, sir.
I was trying to explain the non-technical or above the line personnel. I said they are responsible for the direction of an artistic production. Such personnel or artists or creators, as the case may be, are the producer, the scriptwriter, the director. These persons, sorry, I will need to make a point clear that at sometimes the director also belongs to the technical group, depending on the way we are looking at it. But suffice it to say that the major function of all these three personnel include production planning. We're talking about budgeting, provision of money, performance supervision. Hello.
We are with you, sir.
Okay. Production, monitoring, product publicity, and promotion, as well as presentation. These are the responsibilities of the non-technical or above the line personnel in film production, or specifically documentary world production. The second category is the technical or below the line personnel. These are crew members that takes care of the technical bit or angle of a documentary production. We have so many technical hands, but we just highlighted some here. The scenic designer, lighting and sound specialist, cameramen and women, makeup artists, wardrobe managers, the actors themselves, that the talents, and other production assistants. These specialists function in their various technical capacities. For example, if the light man does not light the production, well, you know what that is. If the sound man does not provide the required sound, you know what that is. If the makeup artist does not do his or her job, you know what that is. So these are the two defined categories of production of film, the technical and the non-technical. The next thing I want us to look at, let's just accept John again, it's like network, is problems associated with documentary film production. Like every other production, there are problems. Even this Zoom we are using now, we admitted John earlier. Later, you may want to call the Zoom pandemic affected him, it went off, there was no network, and so on and so forth. So is documentary film production, even though we are amateurs and we are learning. You could have problems associated with lighting, problem could arise from lighting, personnel, perhaps a particular technical hand supposed to do a particular thing on schedule and is unable to do it. Shooting problems, maybe the atmosphere is not favorable, lack of library or reference materials. When we are looking at the method in which we can produce documentary, we talked about those we can get from government archives. When you go to a particular government to get a particular bill for maybe the Nigerian 1960 independence, and you're unable to get it, it could form or constitute a problem. Problem of not obtaining outside services. You know, there are services that may be beyond the production crew. For example, the editing studio, and you are unable to obtain it. The point we need to make here is that in production of documentary film, or as a budding producer, it is important that we know this and guide. Let's just accept Ifeoma. Ifeoma, you're welcome to your class. Now, we want to look at the next subtopic, getting set for a documentary film production. Getting set for a documentary.
In this my course, Mark 411 is all about film production, like how to produce films. So if he's listening to cinematography.
Hello, please could you just put off your mic? Or, please. Okay, thank you. Now, getting set for a documentary film production. Now, our case is different. We're not talking about that overtly professional case. I mean, today with our smartphone, we can do a documentary film. It's all based on our decision. In short, we will get somewhere now. I'll take us back to the assignment of the Never Again that was in your manual, that is in your manual if you have been studying, but I just want to establish this and go back there. Now, we stated here, you cannot gain mastery of how to produce a documentary film without giving it a trial. It is a common saying in English that practice makes what? Perfect. So it is very important that we give even the production of a documentary a trial in this class. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me, please? Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Okay. Now, the convergence of media forms has made it possible for us to even use any smartphone for recording. Even as amateurs, we can handle these phones. So, some of the steps to take are, maybe let's take our class, for example. I've noticed now for this past few weeks that I don't know what could be responsible. A majority of us don't attend class. When I send emails to you about the Zoom YouTube link, well, just the few numbers we have in here shows up, but I believe I believe that the now authority, they are also sorry, let's just accept Olumfunke. So okay, so that maybe at the level of the student population, something should be done, because they trained us, and even as an external facilitator, it's also a learning process for me. The situation whereby so much resources are committed to a process, and you guys refuse to come online, I don't think is the best. Be that as it may, the point I was trying to make is that as a group, I told you now that we'll go back in my presentation to the Never Again story, which I'm going to give you as we'll do some kind of quiz in the class. Then later we'll take an assignment away. As groups, my intention is that we divide us into 2 groups as a class, and we do 1-minute documentary of our choice. Bearing in mind that we've looked at types of documentary, I will not tell you the type of documentary to do, but we will establish that with our smartphone, and as a group, we'll get our group leaders today, we'll be able to take certain decisions and do certain assignments with respect to making a documentary film. Is that understood, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now, I said first assemble together and think of one issue to be handled. So the group I was just talking about just now, you can decide to meet as a group, maybe virtually, and take a decision on one issue. There are so many issues going on now. The most trendy is the new normal. Is it the COVID challenge, the COVID issue? You might want to decide, you may decide to take that. I'm just giving an instance. Another issue is the issue of kidnapping and general insecurity. You may decide to take that. The issue of Nigeria being the poverty capital of the world. You may want to take that, and so on and so forth. But you must identify an issue. Second, we listed here is that it must be an issue in your immediate environment. I have literally just answered that point now. It must be something that is affecting Nigeria, not something utopic or something that is bothering some other persons, you bring it to the Nigeria situation. So it's neat or neater for you to look at a challenge within your immediate world environment, or something you want to celebrate within your immediate environment. It mustn't be a problem. Okay. Now, 3, each person in your group should be given a deadline on the submission of a script. Now, we're going to look at the script versus the story in a minute, but just know that as a budding documentarist or documentary filmmaker, you are expected to move from the story itself to the treatment, and of course, from the treatment, you have your shooting script. So now, each group, this class, I said we shall have 2 groups. Each group, each member in each group, do you understand me? Each member in each group should do a script. It's not a big deal. If you check your manual, you see a guide there. Now, 4, let's just accept Abigail. I mean, she's made effort. Now, 5, decide whether an interviewee is needed. Now, an interviewee, as you may know, is the person you want to interview. Is it needed in your documentary project? You may decide that. Decide on the shooting of the film. Is your decision, is a decision you need to make. 7, will a professional be hired to do the shooting for you? Well, I'm sure we all know that as far as this class is concerned, we are not going to do that. But I just want you to know some of the steps that need to be taken. 8, one person in your group must be the narrator. So, you know, you must narrate the story that's been set out. So you may choose one person. Of course, 9, you can use any smartphone, I've entered that, to do the recording, both for audio and video recording. 10 said decide on the locations to be used. It's all your choice. All these things are dependent on you as a group. The 11th one here, we said you must select yourselves as actors and actresses where necessary. If there's need for actor or actress, you select from yourself. The last but not the least, before we go to the script versus story issue, is editing the short scenes. Whatever scenes that you shoot as a group.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, this is Rita speaking, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
sir,
please.
Can you come again with the because I only got like 5 points.
Come again in what regard?
As in, you mentioned 8, 10. You said we should form a group. That we should make a group. Then one of us will be actors or actresses, and finding a good location where we can, and also make a script.
Hello, Rita. These
yes,
are just standard procedures.
Oh,
hello. That's
yes,
why there's in my slide, there is a slide that I did not look at. I want us to look at that last. Is that okay?
Okay.
Hello.
Yes,
so
I can hear you.
This is what the standard process demands. But I said for the purposes of Mark 441,
yes, sir.
You would be divided into 2 groups, and you just be expected to do a 1-minute documentary. I am not to determine the type of documentary you want to do. you have to rack your head and take that decision. But know that you don't need to spend so much to do that. With your smartphone with which you are listening or joining this class, you can also do that. Is that okay? Hello, Rita, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's okay, sir.
So now the 10th point we tried to make was that you decide on locations to be used. And of course, you must select yourselves as actors and actors. Okay, I've made that point. Then we're trying to look at the editing of shots. And we said that.
Sir, excuse me, sir, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you,
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Thank you, sir. I'm from Owerri Center. While you were talking to us, I wanted to make some points. Sir, I want to let you know, I want to correct one impression. Just like somebody like me, it's not that I'm not want to. I got your message just a few days ago from my phone, and I had to make sure I joined today. It is a good forum for all of us, and because not every student aspires to go higher than where they are. While with somebody like me who is interested, like I'm doing my IT right now with Imo Broadcasting Corporation. The problem we are facing now is like in the Owerri Center, we don't have these materials. Like in 441, we don't have the material. We've suffered this issue of material severally from this center.
Okay, madam, listen.
Yes.
Madam, I will down is on the National Open University virtual library, but I will download it and send it to the WhatsApp group. Is that okay?
I'm not even in the WhatsApp group, sir.
Don't worry. I think Olumide and Co will put you there. Or I will also, but you can access the Now platform. Can you?
Somehow I can.
You can, okay. Can we put it there?
No, the WhatsApp group is okay. But my problem, I prefer hard copy because having...
And you go and print it now, madam. You go and print it, please. Is that okay? Please, can we continue the class? Hello?
Okay.
Madam,
yes, I'm hearing you.
So you just print now.
Okay.
Please. I'm sure the announcement we have to that. Okay, God bless you. Now, we're seeing that as budding documentary filmmakers or as amateur, you do not need to or shooting unnecessary scenes. That should not be your worry. Just take as you feel you need to submit the recorded shots in your phone to any good studio or experienced computer person, right? Who will help you to synchronize sounds with pictures and of course bond them into what? A VCD. Of course, you label your documentary according to your group. Do we understand so far?
No problem.
Do we get? Okay. So now let's go back to the point I was trying to make earlier with regard to the story versus okay. Please, can you see on my screen? Can you see that? Writing the documentary film script. Can you see that, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, although we went through all and left it was deliberate. He said, writing the documentary script. The script is a manual conveying the program idea. It contains the presentation style. Sorry, are you with me, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Contains the dialogue and the introduction that we aid the production process of a documentary. That is the script. Now, what is the critical difference between synopsis and or versus the shooting script? The synopsis could just be likened to an abstract which summarizes the entire creative work, what you may want to call in business executive summary, put in an impressive form, structure, and sequence. But the shooting script captures and consists of short numbering, camera instruction, action to be formatted, and the anticipated accompanying sound. Everything that has to do with the production, they are in the shooting word script. If you check your manual, which some of you have seen, hello, if your man, we are going to send to the WhatsApp platform for her, you see a story entitled Never Again by Emmanuel in your course manual. Now, try to do a synopsis and a shooting script from it. Simple story of love, of guilt, of betrayal, of disappointment. Try to do a synopsis and try to do a shooting script. Please, this will be submitted as an assignment. And it should be done individually. But today, we are going to, after we look at it, we divide us into groups. I can see that, as usual, we are not many. The last time we were 10. Today, I think we are 10, including me. So we just divide ourselves into 2 groups, hoping that others will join us. This is the 4th week, and we are on the 4th topic, or rather we are in the 4th topic. Now, that assignment is attached to your Mark 411 course manual. It means that you must read that story. They've done, they've given a sample, an example, but I want you to just try it. It's simple enough. Now, having looked at that, I want to look at the principles of the documentary script. There are principles to be adopted and adhered to if the script writer wants to deliver a script that will vividly tell the story. These principles are as follows. 1, gaining attention. All scripts must seek to gain attention. If it does not seek to gain attention, then the purpose will be defeated. Introducing conflict is the 2nd point. Yes, documentary may not be all about conflict, but the truth of the matter is that a creative and alert screenwriter can make use of the principle of conflict to build interest in the documentary. The 3rd one is introducing emotional appeal of values. We all know that he said, he who wears the shoe knows where it pains most. You want to look at an issue from the perspective, it affects an individual, maybe on unrequited love, maybe death. These are emotional issues. Maybe success in academics is an emotional issue. Traveling for greener pasture. So you might decide to, not that you might decide, you need to know this principle while writing your documentary script, looking at the emotional appeal to the audience. Is that okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Sorry to cut you off. I'm talking of, I want to draw your attention on the script you're talking about because, sorry, I didn't start with others. I'm just jumping in. The little idea I've gotten now, like a topic like the marriage that should never be, though the marriage that should never.
Please keep that to your group. You know, we have an hour, please. You keep it to your group. Let's hit the road, right? Is that okay, ma'am? Okay.
Okay, like I wanted to ask a question.
Okay. Okay. Yes, the question. And be quick about it. Be fast.
Like coming
the
emotional.
Yes.
Like coming emotional when presenting your script. Like in this kind of topic, if you start with a conflict, like not on literally drawing attention, like making some kind of introducing your topic on a conflict mood in this situation, is it acceptable?
Of course now. Of course. There are so many scenarios from that title you are trying to say. The man, you said the marriage that was what?
That will never be, or that will not happen.
That will never be. You can just start it from the point of the parents insulting themselves. It's conflict. Are you with me?
Oh yeah, it's a good script.
You know, so there are so many possibilities, but we need to just know that when writing a documentary script, one of the principles is that you must introduce the issue of conflict. That was the second point we made. The first point was that it must be attention grabbing. And of course, we are exploring the third, which is a emotional word, appeal or value. And of course, the last but not the least is the narration. In a documentary, the power of narration cannot be overemphasized. You know, narration in this instance is written after the editing process is completed. It means that it will take place in the studio. So the voice of the narrator is critical to the doing of a good documentary. Is that understood? Is that understood, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
So now, okay, now we have some 14 minutes. I want us to have two groups. Can we have volunteers as group leaders? I don't want to mention names. You just decide. Yes. Yes. Anyone? Okay, Olumide has indicated as one. If Yama, you want to be the second person? Hello, ma'am. If Yama, are you there? Hello. Yes. Another person, please. Olumide has indicated interest. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm hearing you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Somebody should volunteer to. Yes. Yes, somebody should
Why
volunteer.
don't you pick?
Who? Is somebody volunteering, please? Okay. Yes. Are you volunteering? Okole Eunice. Hello, Okole. You'll be the leader of the second group.
Sir, I'm not.
There's nothing wrong. Listen, it's just
Okay, sir.
experience. Don't be scared. I mean, you may just be that documentarist we're all waiting for. Remember Sorio Samura when he did Exodus from Africa? He won awards all over the country. I mean, all over the world, I mean, you know. So are you game, Eunice?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. God bless you. So we have two groups, Okoli Eunice and Olumide Stephen. Now, that's settled. We are 9 participants. So 4 should join Eunice, with Eunice making 5, and 3 should join Stephen making his own group.
Olumide.
Are we together? Can we do
Yes,
that
sir.
now? So
Yes, sir.
the assignment is simple. Do a 1 minute documentary on any subject of your choice. Do a 1 minute documentary. Beauty Adams just came in. It's amazing. The class is ending. You are coming in. Well, Beauty should join one of the groups. Please, you want to mute your phone. Please mute your phone. Okay. Okay. Are we there now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir? Over.
So we have 5-5 now. Yeah. So I said do a 1 minute documentary film on any subject of your choice. Don't be in a hurry. Yes, of your choice. Don't be in a hurry about this because in the revision week, Ferguson Agbo is just coming in. It's amazing. I warned that I will not allow you in after 20 minutes, but since you even try to prepare, I want to give you that opportunity. So Ferguson, you join Olumide's group making 6 and Eunice group making 5. Maybe from the WhatsApp interaction or be watching the Now platform with other instructions for persons to join the different groups. Do you have any questions for today's virtual class, please? Yes, please. Who are those 2 persons enter the waiting room? Who are those persons now? Yes, I'm all ears, please. Question, query, comment. Question, query, comment, observation. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We are about
8 minutes. 8 minutes.
With no question, query, or comment, I've given you 2 assignments. One is that you study the Never Again story and do a synopsis and a shooting script. And of course, the second one is that as a group, we've divided our session into 2 groups, the Olumide Stephen group and the Okoli Eunice group. We'll brainstorm using the gains of what we've learned in this class and this previous and the previous classes to do one documentary on any subject of our choice. I wish you the very best. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, sir. You too, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right.
Government can always stay in